welcome to today's Topic Tuesday webinar. Today we are featuring honors at Iowa. We are so excited to have them. My name is Hannah, and I work as a graduate student within orientation services here at the University of Iowa. Our webinar series this summer features presentations by lots of different campus offices throughout the summer. And you can see all of our webinars, including this one today. They will be on our orientation services website. We have a YouTube channel where they will all be posted after each webinar. We will be utilizing the live question and answer feature during today's presentation. So if at any point during the presentation you have a question, you can just go ahead and type it into that chat function, and our team will work behind the scenes to answer those questions. There will also be an opportunity at the end where we can have our presenter answer those questions live. And today we have 3 panelists that are joining us that we are very excited about too. So they will also be able to answer lots of your questions. Just again, if you want to access this material after the presentation, you can find the link to our YouTube page on our website, and it was also just sent in the chat. And our website is newstudents.uiowa.edu. So we can go ahead and get started. I would like to introduce my campus colleague, Sean Becerra, and he is representing the honors program along with Emily Hill.
Thanks, Hannah. So welcome, everyone. I'm happy that you're able to join us on this webinar. As Hannah mentioned, I'm Sean Becerra. I'm the director of the honors program and a professor in the Department of Psychological and Brain Sciences. I thought I'd just have a few quick opening welcome words here, and then I'll turn it over to our panelists for introductions, and we'll be off to the races for the webinar. I want to first start off by congratulating everyone on getting to this point in the academic year. I know graduation probably hasn't happened yet, but it's close. Maybe more importantly, I want to congratulate you on accepting your admissions offer to the University of Iowa and to the honors program. We're really excited that you'll be joining us this fall, and we're looking forward to having you in our classes or seminars, or just seeing you in the hallways here in the Blank Honors Center. I know that maybe I've met some of you, or that you've sort of interacted with honors maybe on a campus visit. But I think with this webinar and sort of at this point in the whole process, things probably seem a little more real than they did when you were making campus visits before. And so now you're no longer in the territory of learning about the honors program to help you make a college decision, but you're actually, you've made that decision, and maybe what you want to hear tonight or to this afternoon is a little bit about what the program is actually going to involve. So before I turn things over to start the rest of the panel, I want to use this opportunity to sort of reinforce 2 points. The first point that I want to reinforce for you is that you don't have to have everything figured out or understood completely at this point or at the end of this webinar. There's no quiz at the end, but I do want to encourage you that when we're done, to ask yourself how much of this you've actually understood. Do you know what your next steps are? Do you feel like you understand what the program requirements are? Could you explain it to someone else? Could you explain it to a friend or a parent? And in doing that, help yourself identify the things that you don't understand yet, which then leads me to my second point, which is that I want to reinforce that we're all here to help. The reason that you don't have to have everything figured out is because the honors program staff are here as guides. If you have questions after the panel, after the presentation, or at any point during the summer before you actually get to campus, please reach out and let us know. And when you get to campus, please stop by and introduce yourself. So with all of that, now what I'd like to do is pivot to our orientation leaders and panelists for some quick introductions, and then we'll get started with things. So I will let the 3 of you popcorn amongst yourselves, and I will, let's see, Victoria, you are first on my screen. So if you could introduce yourself with name, major, your year at Iowa, and your hometown or high school, that would be terrific.
Great. Hi, everyone. I'm Tori. I'm a second year student here at Iowa. My major is pre-medicine and human phys, and I'm from Missouri Valley, Iowa.
And I'm Josie Burkett. I am also a second year student majoring in human physiology. I'm on the pre-physical therapy track. I'm also getting a minor in lifestyle medicine. And I am originally from Winterset, Iowa, graduated from Winterset High School.
Hi everyone, my name is Shelly and I'm a neuroscience major. I'll be going into my second year in fall 2024. I'm an international student and I come from India.
All right. Thank you, everyone. My name is Emily Hill. I am the Associate Director for the Honors Program. And today I am going to go through a honors orientation PowerPoint, hopefully pretty quickly, but there's some very important information on there. But again, like Sean said, this won't be the last time you hear all this. And we're planning to send out the link in a few days to the whole PowerPoint so you can always review. So let me share my screen here. All right, here we go. So here is the start of our PowerPoint. And let me see if it will let me. Okay, all right. So to kick us off here, I wanted to share with you all just some of the benefits of being in the honors program. Sometimes students apply to be in the honors program, but it's still kind of fuzzy about what it is and what are the things that you'll get by being in the program. So first of all, I think one of the maybe one of the things that students come in with a lot is they think maybe that the honors program is AP for college. It's going to be harder than the average class. And sometimes people think it's just an honor society, and it's actually neither of those things. So some of the benefits of our program is taking classes in the honors program. So we do have a curriculum, which I will go into in depth here in a few moments, but we do have honors classes that you take as an honors student, and they're not harder, they're just different. It's most of the honors classes that you'll take will have an active learning environment. So maybe instead of lecturing for the full time, the instructor will actually ask you to generate conversation. Maybe there's an active learning component to a project that maybe you'll be doing in class. So it's a little bit more hands-on learning than the average classroom. College is already going to be challenging, so we're not here to make it any more difficult, but we want you to have classes that are going to enrich your experience while you're here and also be surrounded by other honors students while taking some of those courses. Typically, our classroom size is smaller. There are some classes that have to be larger, like our honors chemistry class, because so many students have to take chemistry for their majors. But typically they're going to be smaller. So hopefully you get to know your faculty member really well and maybe some of the students in your class really well. There are honor sections of general education courses that you're going to have to take anyway in order to graduate from the university. So I mentioned one of those, one of the most popular ones is chemistry. We have honor sections of chemistry. We have honor sections of rhetoric. So those are a few different courses that you would need to take anyway. So we have honor sections of them, and you can be surrounded by other honor students. We also have, we're very lucky to have a very talented group of individuals who work for the honors program that have teaching experience. So we do have some in-house taught honors courses taught by various professional staff. Another benefit is a network of resources and support once you get here on campus. So like Sean said, we have a full-time staff that works for the honors program, and we all have different specialties, and we're here to work for you as students. We have honors peer mentors. These are slightly more experienced honors students who are trained to help us with honors advising with other students. So they really help us spread the word of what you need to accomplish to graduate with university honors. We have lots of social and academic programming to help you get to know other honors students better, but also faculty and staff. And we also have a really beautiful building. We are located in the Blank Honor Center on campus. If you haven't had a chance to visit yet, stop by if you're on campus this summer. We have beautiful study spaces for our students and classrooms. So it's just a great place to hang out and study and also get to know some people. We have honors housing this year, upcoming year. It's going to be located in Catlett Residence Hall, and it's directly across the way from the Blank Honors Center. So you'll have easy access to our resources over here if you live there. And it's another great way to meet other honor students by living with other honor students from a variety of majors. I've heard rumor that there's a lot of different study groups that happen in honors floors. I've also heard that there's a lot of fun that happens in the honors on the honors floors. So it's just a great option for students. It is not required. We actually, the housing has given us 2 floors of Catlett, and that actually isn't quite enough for our whole class. So our whole class couldn't live there. And so our honor students actually live all across campus, and they still have a good experience. It just depends on what you desire for your first year of college. We have scholarship opportunities. Applications for current honors students open up in the fall. This happens annually every year. So once you get here at Iowa, towards the middle of fall, there'll be an announcement that the scholarship portal is open, and we have awards that vary from $1,000 to $5,000 for our students. So we're very grateful for all of our generous donors that we have. Whoop. Sorry about that. It really jumped ahead. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. And then the last part of that slide is another benefit is recognition at the very end of your college career. So this means that we have a special honors commendation or graduation ceremony at the end of the year. It will, if you complete all of our requirements, it will say that you graduated with university honors, and you also get an honors medallion to wear at your graduation ceremony. All right, so I wanted to take some time to talk about our curriculum. So the first part of our curriculum is honors coursework. So all of our honors students need to complete 12 semester hours of honors coursework within the first 4 semesters of their college career. And the list there and the bullet points are just some of the options that we have. But honors prime time is the very first opportunity that you have to earn some credit for the honors program. And I'll talk more about prime time in more depth in a minute here. We have a class that we expect all of our honor students to take called Introduction to Honors. That is also in your first semester.
Hey, Emily,
And
I'm so sorry to interrupt. I don't think
oh,
we can see your screen. It just says you started screen sharing. So maybe if you
oh
could
no.
stop sharing and
Okay.
then reshare,
Okay.
hopefully that'll fix it.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay. So sorry about that, y'all. All right, so like I was saying, we have Introduction to Honors, which is a class that we expect our honors students to take right when they get here in the fall. It's just a really nice foundation for you to be successful in the honors program. We have first year seminars. Like I said, we have some in-house courses that our honors students like to take. One that I really want to highlight for this upcoming fall is Honors 2994 Poetics. We still have spots in that class. Poetics Taylor's version. One of our staff members is a published author. She has her MFA, and she also just really loves Taylor Swift. So she's going to be starting her own poetry of Taylor Swift lyrics class in the fall. So that is something that you might want to enroll in if you're a fan. Or if you're a creative writing major. And then we also have general education courses, which I mentioned before. There are some honors sections of core courses in your major, depending on what major you are in that you can take. And there is an opportunity for our students to contract a regular course that they may be in, but there isn't an honor section of. And if they do a special project for that class, they can earn honors credit for that class. So we have a very flexible coursework menu for our students to complete. All right, so I wanted to pause and talk about Introduction to Honors. So this is fairly new. This is our second year doing this. And this is an asynchronous online course that all new first year students are expected to take in their first semester here at college, if they're in the honors program. This is a class that will help you build some community with your peers, staff, and faculty. And it will help you interact with the honors community in a variety of different ways. And all of these ways have been curated as tools that will help you understand the honors program more and hopefully make everything really clear about the expectations. So we will have you attend an honors welcome session at the beginning of fall semester. We'll have you sign up for an advising appointment with an honors peer mentor as part of the class. We'll have you go to a few honors social events or campus events. And as you soon will learn, our program is big on personal reflection. And so we'll have you engage in a few reflection activities just to reflect on how college is going your very first semester and how transitioning into the honors program is going. And we'll also have you create a few goals. This class begins at the start of the fall semester, so that Monday, August 26th. And I'll just emphasize again that this class is asynchronous and online. So sometimes that very first semester, students will forget that they're actually enrolled in it because you don't physically go to a classroom for it. But don't worry about that. We will be communicating with you all a lot about this through our learning education system called ICON. You will fast get acquainted with ICON with all your classes. So all the information for this class will be on ICON. If you enroll in Honors Prime Time, which I'll talk more in depth in a minute, you will automatically be enrolled in Honors 1000 Intro to Honors. So you won't have to worry about separately enrolling in this class. But if you decide not to do prime time, you will need to enroll in a different section of Introduction to Honors. It's all the same, but you will actually have to enroll in Honors 1000 0EXV if you are not doing prime time. And successful completion of Introduction to Honors will give you 1 semester hour of coursework credit. So it'll be already working towards your requirements for the honors program. So what should my first semester of honors classes look like? So we hope you're available to engage in honors prime time. So that's honors 1100. This will earn you 1 credit of experiential learning credit. And this is a little different than academic course credit, but we'll talk about that in a second. you should be enrolled in Honors 1000, Intro to Honors for 1 semester hour, an Honors First Year Seminar for 1 semester hour, and then maybe a section of a general education course like rhetoric, and enroll in an honor section of that. Or maybe you're gonna go into the Poetics Taylor Swift class, and that also will help you start earning credit right away. So honors experiential learning is sort of the second half of our curriculum, although students can start working on this right away, but there is no pressure to. So this is 12 credits of experiences from a vast menu of options by graduation. So experiential learning is learning by doing. So essentially going out into the world and using that as your laboratory to learn about something. This could take the form of research. We're a research one institution, so a lot of our students are engaging in research. Maybe it's study abroad, or you're gonna engage in an internship, or you're very active in service. All of these different things are things that you're probably going to be doing anyway as a well-rounded student, and we are going to give you experiential learning credit for those experiences. Most often students complete or start working on their experiential learning between their second and fourth years. Although, like I said, some students start right away because sometimes opportunities present themselves. We also count honors in the major. That's different than university honors. We're university honors, and honors in the major is actually within your particular major. It's usually a couple upper level courses once you get to that point in your major, and it usually culminates in some sort of project or capstone at the end. If you complete honors in the major within your degree program, we count that as fulfilling all 12 credits of our experiential learning curriculum. So that's really great. It is possible to graduate with university honors distinction on your transcript and also honors in your major. And if you like a more typical classroom experience, there are experiential learning classes. All right, so this is probably the program that gets the most questions at this point of time, and it's it's the Honors Primetime Experience. You may have heard about it. It is we have this every year, and it's every year when we survey our seniors, it's one of the top experiences our seniors reference as being a very formative moment in their honors career. So we strongly encourage, if you're able to enroll in Honors Primetime. So this is a workshop experience that happens the week before school starts. So this year it's Monday, August 19th through August 22nd. Again, it's strongly recommended, and it's a way to learn about the honors program and also build community with your peers before the semester even begins. You'll familiarize yourself with campus and Iowa City, but also learn something new in a really active learning environment. All of these workshops, we recruit faculty and staff from across campus that have really interesting interdisciplinary interests, and so they actually lead the workshop. And the greatest part is that there's no homework for these workshops. You do all the learning inside the workshop during the day, and then in the evenings, it's free for you to take in honors program socials that we also are planning for our students. These are the 15 sections that we have for the workshops this year. So you can skim through those as you look at the screen here. But one that I'd like to point out, Dr. Sean Becerra, who introduced himself earlier, he teaches the course, Go Outside and Play, Nature, Cognition, and How to Survive in the Outdoors. This is a workshop that always fills up very quickly. Students really enjoy Sean's class because they learn a lot about cognition, but they also get to spend a lot of time outside. I know he takes them on a tree tour of campus. You'll learn how to identify trees. You also get to spend some time in a nearby state park. So again, it's just a really active and an engaging way to start school. And it's a really nice way to make some connections. So how do you enroll in prime time? So you will be able to search through my UI and look at all 15 sections of Honors 1100. Before your SOAR appointment or your advising appointment this summer, I would highly recommend that you look through the options and pick your top 3 to 5 sections because they do fill quickly. And then once you're at your SOAR appointment, you'll enroll in your section. And the topic does not need to be related to your major. I cannot emphasize this more. Sometimes students get a little nervous about, oh, maybe the section that they think really relates to their current major is full, and that, oh, I don't know if I want to do any of the others. That's not the point of prime time. It's time to explore, have some fun, and get to know some of your honors peers. So I would take that chance and pick a different topic just so you can be there in that environment and get to know faculty and staff and students before school begins. You will enroll, if you enroll in prime time, like I said before, you will be automatically enrolled in the Introduction to Honors class. And the successful completion of prime time, you'll actually earn 1 credit towards your experiential learning requirement at the end of it. Everybody asks about move-in with prime time. How does that work? If you're participating in honors prime time, you're going to have to be moved into your resident hall before Monday, August 19th. So move-in will be on Saturday, the 17th, and Sunday, the 18th. So I would prioritize signing up for one of those 2 days. Sign up for move-in dates will be sent out by University Housing in mid-July. So make sure that you sign up right away and either sign up on that Saturday or Sunday. If you have any specific housing questions, please contact the housing office because they are the experts in that area and will be able to answer your questions. There is no fee to move in on that Saturday or Sunday. So it's just like your regular housing contract. What if you can't do prime time? So we always have a few students that can't do prime time. Maybe they're involved in a program called Iowa Edge on campus. They're an international student. All international students have orientation that week before school. We have a lot of honor students who are in Hawkeye marching band, and the marching band is very busy that week prepping for On Iowa. That's later that weekend. So if you have any obligations that prevent you from coming early or engaging in the program, you'll enroll in that other section of Introduction to Honors, and that will still give you a great foundation for the honors program. And again, that class will start right at the beginning of the semester. And then that brings me to our last page. So you can find our website at that address. We're happy to answer any questions through our email, and you can also find us on Instagram and on Facebook. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I am going to ask our panelists a few questions because you are truly the experts in the honors program. So my first question for you all is, what is it like to be a first-year student in honors? What are some of the highlights from your experience entering the University of Iowa as an honors student? And whoever wants to start us off can.
I can start us off. Oh,
Go ahead, Tori. You're good.
okay.
I'll go next. Yeah.
A big part of my honors, like coming into the university, was doing honors prime time. It allowed me to meet like a small group of people and really get to know them that first week. I didn't know anyone coming to college, so having honors prime time allowed that small knit group of people, and like I still talk to them to this day. So yeah.
I actually wasn't able to do honors prime time when I first moved to the University of Iowa, just because I was in the marching band. And I still had a really great experience. I participated in a first year seminar. It was called Live Music in Iowa City. It was taught by Professor Trevor Harvey with the University of Iowa School of Music. And during this class, it was a very small group of people. So it was a great way to interact with staff members or faculty members here at the university, but also get to know some of my peers as well that were also in the honors program. So that was a really great resource. But we would spend evenings throughout the week and go to different live music events in Iowa City. There's always something going on in the warm months of the year. And at the end of the semester, we were actually able to put on our own little performance. We practiced for a few weeks, and that was just a really great experience to make some connections and make some friends.
Great.
I would also like to mention my first year on this seminar. I took up music and the mind. It was a one semester course, and there were just about 20 of us. So the professor knew each one of us very well. And the experience became enriching because we had different professors and experts give talks upon the subjects that were related to that course, such as the neuroscience of interpreting music or the skills required for music therapy. And beyond that, one of the things that I found interesting was the fact that we had to write down reflections and essays. And we also attended classical music concerts for that course. And one of the things that I took back from the course was the fact that since my professor knew me so well, I could actually reach out to him for scholarship recommendations and advising later on.
That's great. Yeah, that's a great endorsement for getting to know your faculty members. Not only are they sources of knowledge, but the students always need letters of recommendation. So it's really, really important to get to know your faculty as you go along. Another question I had for you all is, what are the benefits of honors classes? And then maybe you want to talk about, what made a honors class different than maybe a standard version of that class.
I think one of the great things.
Okay.
Go ahead, Shelley. I can go next.
Okay. So I got myself enrolled in the honors section of my chemistry courses. That is Principles of Chemistry 1 and Principles of Chemistry 2 both. So for the honors sections, they are usually not different in the lectures because chemistry courses usually have about 200 people, but they were different in the lab sections. So we work with fellow honors students during our lab activities and experiments. And if you want to get honors credit for these courses, we actually engage in extra activities or projects. For example, for Principles of Chemistry 1, we did a lot of poster presentations and we presented that to our peers and instructors. I remember doing mine on antimicrobial chemotherapy, and one of my peers wondered if I was a chemistry major, even though I wasn't. So at that time, I realized that scientific communication is very important for us as scientists and researchers. And by doing that, the honors program helped enable that, and it also made us better as scientists and researchers.
One of the things that I really enjoyed about honors classes is that there's a lot of emphasis on reflection. So it's very discussion based. Most honors classes are. A lot of times, if you have a discussion section for one of your larger classes, sometimes it's taught by the professor themselves instead of like a teacher assistant or TA. So that's a really great resource as well, just another way to get to know your faculty. But yeah, during class and in these discussion sections, we base a lot of the honors coursework around reflection and reflecting on our experiences and discussing those things as well, which I think is really important. I feel like I just kind of go through the motions and I don't often stop to think about what I'm doing, why I'm doing this, why it's important. So that's something that I've really enjoyed about honors courses in general.
Great.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with both Shelley and Josie. To add on, I think honors classes has given me like an opportunity to like get tighter relationship with my professor and better faculty staff around the university, just because you're getting to know them better in the smaller settings.
Absolutely. What experiential learning have you done or are you doing, and what have you gained from it? Or maybe what you're planning on doing too, if you haven't started your experiential learning. Who wants to go first?
My experiential learning experience is the one that I'm currently doing. That is working as an orientation leader for the summer. I'll be welcoming and guiding new students on campus and introducing them to the campus resources. And I would like to mention, like, I have to be honest in mentioning that this experience would actually push me out of my comfort zone because being an introvert, it is hard for me to, interact with people and communicate. So I feel it would help me a lot because even in the scientific world, we need to interact with our colleagues and fellow scientists. And I feel that it would also improve my presentation skills. So I'm envisioning that by the time I graduate, I would be ready to communicate with fellow scientists and conduct researches and present my research.
Absolutely. That's great, Shelley.
So I haven't actually done my experiential learning yet. I'm doing it in the fall through a lab through the university. Yeah, it's related to my major, and I'm super excited to get to like have a hands-on experience. So,
Do you know what kind of work you'll be doing in the lab yet?
something with mice.
Something with mice. Okay. All right. Josie, did I see your camera? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I have volunteered in the hospital before. This is a great resource for any students who are looking at STEM majors. There are many opportunities at the university hospital just off campus, and there are many different units that you can volunteer in. So I've been in rehab therapies outpatient, so that fits well with my pre-physical therapy major. And I also work at a physical therapy clinic in Coralville. So I'm doing those two things to fulfill my experiential learning credit.
Great. Yes, and I thought maybe I would just touch on quickly. I think we've briefly mentioned it, but the way you get credit for most of these experiential learning experiences is through reflection. So we have a whole reflection process for our students to go through. And what's really great is that it allows you to make some goals before you go into that experience. But then after you complete that experience, you reflect on how the experience actually went. And for some students, it really reaffirms like, oh, I'm on the right path. I'm going to be, this is great. I want to do more of this type of experiences before I graduate. For other students, they discover, you know what, maybe I'm not going into the right field for me. And that's also a positive to get out there, get some experience, and then realize, gosh, am I actually still on the correct path for me too? So these are all of these things are just leading the way to being a successful person outside of college. One other thing I wanted to ask you all is like, what other clubs or activities have you chosen to get involved in at Iowa, honors or otherwise? Because I think sometimes honor students have the stereotype that that's all they do is honors and study, but you all are very well-rounded individuals. So if you could share some of the other things that you do.
So like I mentioned earlier, I am a member of the Hawkeye Marching Band. I'm also in the pep band, so get a lot of football and basketball in there. Super fun, switches things up. I'm also in the pre-physical therapy club. I'm an event coordinator for the skydiving club, so if you like skydiving, we have a club for you. I'm also an honors outreach ambassador, and then an orientation leader.
Great.
I'm in dance marathon, which is super fun, life-changing, and then Medicus, and then I'm an orientation leader too.
And what is Medicus for folks that maybe don't know what that is?
Oh yes. It's like the pre-med club, so we all kind of meet up, and it's everyone with like similar majors, get to know them. We have people come in, speakers and things like that.
Great. Great. Shelley, do you have anything?
I currently work as an opinions columnist for our student-run newspaper, the Daily Iowan, and I got this opportunity in the first semester itself. through the student employment fair, where we had different on-campus and off-campus employers educate us about the opportunities available. I currently focus on writing about healthcare and mental health of the staff and faculty and education, and have been involved not just in opinion writing, but in reporting as well. And in the second semester, I also became a member of the International Student Advisory Board, or the ISEB. So as a member, I would be working with different university offices to talk about the issues related to international students, such as scholarship opportunities, housing, and on-campus employment.
Awesome. That's great. I have a final question, but I thought I would check in with Sean. I guess I haven't checked the question and answer box. Has there been anything that we need to address?
Nothing that I've seen.
Okay.
So I think we're still good. You've got
Okay.
a question. We'll go ahead and pop it back to the panelists.
Okay. Well, the last thing that I had for you all is any advice or experiences you'd like to share with our incoming honor students.
I can go first. I actually lived in Dom Residence Hall this past year under the honors thing. I know now it's at Catlett Residence Hall, but it was such a good experience. We had so much fun, but there's also like really good study groups to get to know other people and have people that are doing the same things as you. So
Great.
If I were to give anyone a piece of advice, I would just say step out of your comfort zone. Get as involved as you wish. Your first semester at Iowa, definitely things are going to feel uncomfortable, but that's okay. Everyone's in the same boat. And don't be scared to initiate a conversation with someone. Everyone's looking for their group of people. So get involved, meet new people, and yeah, meet new friends.
Great. Shelley?
I would just say make sure you find your favorite study spot. I found mine on the fourth floor of the Blank Honors Center. That's where all the honors program offices are located. So I found my study spot in the Nelson Activity Room or the Honors Library. I would like to advise all of the students to not just visit this library because it has a lot of books, classics, textbooks, and novels, a very cozy study space. And you can also treat yourself to beverages and snacks when there are events organized by the honors program.
That's great. Yes, I think that's so important. I talk to a lot of my students. I teach a class called Honor Students in Wellness, and we spend a whole class period about finding it's called like a third place. So some place that's not your room that you usually sleep in or watch TV, in order to actually feel like you're getting quality work done. So I think that's great piece of advice. Any questions in the question? No questions in the question. Okay. All right. Well, I will pass it off to Sean to close if there aren't any questions.
Yeah, thanks, Emily. And I want to start by just thanking our panelists. I know you're going to be busy this summer, but I appreciate you taking some time to share with everybody on the webinar some of your experiences. I'll reiterate something that Emily said, which is you really are the experts in the program. So for everyone on the on this webinar, I think having student panels is extraordinarily valuable because that's where you hear a little bit about really what the experience is like in the program. It's one thing to sort of hear Emily or myself talk about it, and it's really very different to hear what a student's experience is like. You know, sometimes we think we know what we hope students get out of the program or some class or some other aspect of the program, but it's really the students who sort of tell us what that experience is like, and where we really have a chance to find out what's really very valuable and useful about the program. So thank you very much. I also want to thank everyone who's on the webinar. Thanks for your time. I'll just reiterate again, if you've got questions about anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Simple place to find us is on our website, honors.uiowa.edu. Our email address is there. If you send to that general honors program email address, it'll get routed to someone who can answer your question. And with that, Hannah, I will turn things back to you for just sort of a general set of announcements and closing information.
Yes, thank you so much. Just as a reminder, you can access this video and other different Topic Tuesday content on the Orientation Services YouTube page, which can be found through our website that was sent earlier, newstudents.uiowa.edu. I want to thank you all so much for taking the time to attend today. And we have a few other webinars today, actually. There's one about study abroad at 2 p.m. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to register on our website. And then we also will have even more Topic Tuesdays happening throughout the summer. So hopefully we will see you next Tuesday to talk more about employment and careers within the university. So hope to see you all then. And thanks again, and go Hawks.